It's the kitchen stewardship landfill. This is the embarrassing section of video where I show you the areas that are totally not used well and even full of some junk food and candy and stuff. So it's R-rated, maybe even X-rated. Do not let your children see this. This is awful. Alright, this is our recycling. And I knew it would just stay like this if I let it happen, but the paper is on top in a box. And everything else goes on bottom in a box. And that's where the dirty cloth napkins go. That's horrible organizing, but it's the best I could do flying along in December when we moved in. This is totally unused space. Andrea of Simple Organized Living pointed out, just get rid of these pot holders because you probably don't use them, and she's right, because I use glass cutting boards. And then junk we've been given that's just been thrown back there. There's my cookbooks that I don't really use very often. And then the recipes I do use are all in there. That's what we call our family candy bin. It's where all the junk goes that doesn't belong to anyone in particular, and it mostly doesn't get eaten. And then there's the chocolate chips that the adults do eat. And overflow in the glass jars back there. It shouldn't probably be there. What is that called? That's a vacuum sealer. I have not used it since I moved in. And that's a pastry mat, and I have not used that since I moved in. But I gotta keep the pastry mat. I don't know. Oh, I don't know about the vacuum sealer. It's something I should have, but I haven't used it. And a couple bottles of wine. Those don't belong there either. This is where, I do buy tortilla chips. I try to keep it organic. And then we got some of our Uncle Sam and Erewhon cereal from Attune Foods, and then some homemade like Power Balls in there. Sorry, it's kind of crunchy. And then just stupid little snacks that we've been given. This was intended to be an empty cabinet where I could put all my homemade stuff so it didn't have to sit on the counter. And then the cabinet filled up. Oh, and here's the, I don't even know what this is. It's lunchboxes, it's grill tools, it's bottles. I thought it was organized and it's totally not. And then down here, that's where my plastic bags go, but I'm thinking about moving those. This is where the, that's my Pampered Chef baking stones. There's only a few places in the whole kitchen because of those roll-out drawers that those could possibly go. So those kind of have to stay. And then the George Foreman that I realized when talking to Andrea that I have not used since we moved in. She said, sell it. I'm like, oh, yeah, I could get rid of it instead of putting it in the basement. That would be smart. And then my tortilla press is riding on top of that. And again, there were only a few places in the whole kitchen that those drying racks or cooling racks could go because they just really need to stand up and lean, right? But tons and tons of unused space in there, especially on the top. And Andrea said, just put all your food over here like a real pantry and have like, mid-level shelves put in there, just wire shelves. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have some of those in my basement. Put a shoebox in the front, free, that you can just pull out and get to the back stuff. It's so, I thought she'd have all these like amazing solutions, and they're totally amazing, but I don't have to go out and buy stuff. I can just use a shoebox. And then coming over here, so like this is inside the kitchen, and it's just outside the kitchen, technically in like the dining room, are these 3 drawers, and I'm not even going to show you the top one because it's truly a junk drawer and I'm embarrassed that it happened, but I never assigned it to anything, so I threw stuff in there. The bottom is basically empty, but for phone books, which don't need to stay there. It's just they were there when we moved in and I never moved them. So this bottom needs to be lunch boxes and water bottles, I think. And then this is the, there's the candy. That's the kids' candy. Leah has a bag. Paul has a bag. If it doesn't fit in the bag, it gets thrown away. So man, did Paul fit a lot in there. And then just like little grabbable freeze-dried fruit, raisins, nuts. This was intended to be if you need a snack for the road, healthy, you can find it in here, but it's kind of turned into a mess. So I need to get all my nuts in one place. I don't know, I never know what to do about the candy. I don't know if it should stay down there or not. And then over here, so we're in 3 totally different parts of the kitchen that just need to be like all switched around. This is kind of my pantry area with some canned beans, pizza sauce, tuna. It's stuff that I don't really access more than, maybe once a week, maybe less. Tahini's in there, there's some salsa, but most of my salsa and spaghetti sauce is downstairs where like all my bulk overflow is. And then like home dried tomato stuff. It's just, I don't use it enough. So Andrea's right, I gotta get it over in the other cabinets so that this cabinet can be for stuff that I touch all the time. And then over here is like this middle shelf I would call my Powerballs baking shelf. It's got coconut and dates and dried fruit and stuff that I use to make some of the recipes from Healthy Snacks to Go. And then on the bottom is mostly just vinegars. It was intended to be, this is all the things I need for salad dressings. That was my idea, that I could like go in here and be like, whoop, and just pull everything out, and then voila, make salad dressings, and then whoop, put it all back. But I can't do that because all my spices that I use for salad dressings, I use for other things too. These are actually soaked and dried oats. They're not my regular oats. So I don't know what to think about that. And up there is stuff I don't use very often either. It was just kind of the, well, this is open. I'm going to throw some of the plasticware that I don't want people to use way up there. I don't know. So I don't know. I got to really think about this cupboard because it's kind of handy. The vinegars are in a good place, but other than that, I don't know. I don't know.